What do you really need to do digital artwork? There are tons of tablets out there, just the ones that you plug into your phone or laptop, the ones that are display only, or the all-in-ones that are equivalent to an iPad, or the jumbo ones that cost almost as much as a used car. Yeah, there's a lot of different things that you can do, but for me, I prefer the iPad-shaped ones that I can take on the go that have mostly all-in-one, but not quite the Windows or other types of Mac type of level of computer accessibility. As much as I would love to have a laptop type of art tablet, I stuck with an iPad for 5+ years. I went from a 9.7-inch tablet to the iPad Pro 12.9-inch 4th generation tablet. The fact that it has 256 gigabytes plus an external storage brick that I carry around with me is the reason why I've had it for so long, but the battery is overheating after 5 years of me using the same battery, and somehow it still hasn't gone kaput, thankfully. Knock on wood that I can get the battery changed before Christmas. But in the meantime, I needed a backup tablet that could run just as well and have pretty good storage, but also, aside from the lack of Procreate and ToonSquid, I needed something that could run pretty similar softwares, and especially with me getting Clip Studio, in case something does happen to my iPad over time, if the battery is irreplaceable or there's other issues. There are many things that I want to have secure because this is what I like to do. I make YouTube videos, I make comic pages, everything is on my iPad all in one. But can I do that with a similar type of iPad-like product? And which of the many products that are out there now could function just as well, but not just me getting a smaller iPad as a substitute? Because I could just go get another iPad 9.7-inch, but that doesn't really solve my issue, especially since I want to switch away from iPad. So I went and got myself a Huion Canvas Slate 11, 128 gigabytes, with the additional expansion of a microSD card storage slot, and everything that it came with was all in one for the price. To give you a quick rundown, my iPad, when I got it, was refurbished. The Huion Canvas 11 was on sale, so I saved myself about £50. For those who are curious and confused for US dollar prices, essentially, for my iPad Pro 12.9-inch 4th generation tablet, about 5 years ago, it was about $1,000, plus another $120 for the pencil at the time, plus $50 for the case that I initially bought for it, $15 for the screen protector, $20 for a generic Bluetooth keyboard, and $10 for a smudge guard that I bought, all generally from the random stores, from the Apple Store to the Amazon, all of that. As of right now, if I was to get an iPad from the UK, that would be closer to $600 to $800, plus still another probably couple hundred for all of the other items listed. For the Huion Canvas Slate 11, I only had to pay about 250 British pounds, which is closer to $300 to $400. Now, mind you, it was on sale, don't know if it still is, but that is a lot less. That is like a fraction, and it came with a case that is also a stand. It has a anti-glare screen that's already on it, and the pen, the H pencil that it comes with, is really good. It has pretty similar features. The only difference for the way that it charges instead of magnetic charging is you have to plug into this small little spot on the side of it, and it gives you a notification with a little red ring around the top and the replaceable nibs. Everything about it and this tablet is a dream, with the prices of everything being the main reason why I would probably highly recommend it out of any other of the Apple products and other types of tablets out there, because of the iPad kind of capability of it and the App Store. And if you're wanting something that has an equivalent to Procreate, HiPaint is an app that I've recently been introduced where you can find some, not a lot, but some brushes that you can download and install that work pretty similar to it. Time-lapse features and everything are in it. You just have a little watermark of it on there. I don't know if there's a way to purchase to remove that or not, but it is a free app. The difference of that being, if you did have an iPad and you wanted to get Procreate, it's a flat price of about, I think, $5 or $10, can't remember exactly, but it does also have an animation feature, both for HiPaint and for Procreate. The saving features that it has are pretty similar. I don't actually know, because I haven't tested it, if I was to uninstall and reinstall HiPaint, if it has the that same issue or not, where it doesn't actually save anything, and once you uninstall and reinstall, your entire gallery just goes poof. The basic features are all there. Reference layers, the lasso tools, all of the basics are there, even the tolerance for making sure that the paint bucket tool doesn't go outside of your lines, which is something that I've been appreciative of in Clip Studio recently. Also, the undo button is about the same, where there is a limitation on it. You can only undo so many times. But overall, what about the Huion Canvas Slate 11 is the main difference besides price? Everything is an all-in-one, like I said, already for the big factor, but aside from not having Procreate or ToonSquid, there are alternatives. You can use other apps for animation on here. Like I said, Clip Studio would probably be the best bet if you can afford to pay for it, because it is like a pay-per-month type of art app. And none of this is sponsored, by the way. This is just me sharing all of my endeavors as a self-taught digital artist who wanted to simply get a second device that I wish I could have gotten 5 years ago. So it's a case of, if this was shown to me as an artist 5 years ago, this is what I would have appreciated, because a lot of what I see nowadays is a lot of people saying, go get the newest of this model, you should save up so that you can get this, like the bare bones basics that if you're like me and you want something that is equivalent to an iPad-like product with the available apps ranging from free to an affordable budget, this is what I would highly recommend, because my art journey may have started out with a 9.7-inch iPad and eventually worked my way up to the 12.9-inch 4th generation tablet. That is because I was able to afford by saving for years for it, on top of other savings factors. The fact that the Huion Canvas Slate 11, as of the price that I had gotten, it was under $500. That's also not counting the fact that there is a Canvas Slate 13, which is a slightly bigger, slightly more expensive one. This is just kind of like an equivalent, because 11-inch screen versus 13-inch screen versus the 12.9-inch screen, which is basically 13, for the iPad versus the Canvas, the Slate. There are tons of tablets out there, and this one may not be the perfect one for you, but for me, as someone who wanted an iPad-like surface that in case something does happen to my iPad, I have something that could work for it, and if I absolutely needed to, it does also run Clip Studio, so that I could technically transfer over stuff. I hope that this helps someone, and if there is any more in-depth, detailed questions, please leave some comments down below. I'd be happy to answer them and share some more. And although I won't be using my Huion Canvas Slate 11 for a lot of things, it'll be more for the behind-the-scenes for things, so you can see what I doodle on the go, and using it as sort of a digital sketchbook for me that I can then transfer over to my iPad, unless in the future something does happen, which I'll explain it in any future videos. But as of right now, it is something that I hope that if anyone is looking to start out with something that slashes the price factor of it and has everything you need all in one purchase, I could recommend Huion Canvas Slate 11. Something to bear in mind as a partial art disclaimer is that this is just for what I've been able to test and research for the tons of basically iPad-like alternatives. For the iPad Pro, sure, you could technically get for around the same $500 budget a slightly smaller one, especially if it's refurbished, but then you also have to factor in the additional cost of the pen or pencil that goes with it, the case, the charging cables, and screen protectors and everything else like that, and art software depending on which one you're using. When it came to me picking the Huion Canvas Slate out of all of the other options out there, from generic Android tablets to the Magic, I forgot what it's called, that recently came out, like all these different competitive brands, it was the one that best fit for me, because there are tons of other types of Huion devices out there, but this is the only all-in-one type of device recently that I found that had the external storage that I was looking for, had everything all in one for a reasonable price of under about $500. Again, I'm going by British pounds conversion, so 250 pounds for me, instead of spending almost 600 to 800 pounds, is a difference of $500 versus $1,000 plus the additional costs of everything. That is the best small rundown that I can give for it without covering every single type of tablet out there, because again, I'm the kind of artist who likes an iPad-like device, and this is the type of video that I wish could have been out available for me a few years back, but who knows what type of devices will be out 1 to 5 years from now. As a final note, as an artist who is both self-taught and has been working with an iPad and Procreate for 5 years, the main reason of this video is the difference between that and the Huion Canvas Slate 11, where although I can't use Procreate and ToonSquid on it, it would be a perfect replacement if I had the option a few years ago, because I know that there's probably someone out there who would wish for this kind of video. I know younger me would have loved it, because having gone from $1,000 down to something that was only about $400 is a lot of money saved that if I would have bought this type of tablet back then, I could then use all that money that I had to save up for the latest and greatest of iPad models, but eventually I would have gotten the iPad or something of like a big old Wacom type of big old Cintiq, because the end goal is to be able to have something studio quality and also have something that is portable. The Huion Canvas Slate will be more of my portable digital sketchbook on the go and backup storage, and if anything does ever happen, it can replace my iPad. So hopefully this video helps at least one person out there, and thanks so much for making it to the end of today's video. It means a lot to me and tells YouTube that you want to see more videos like this. Stay possum, subscribblers.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to join the Subscribblers Squad to never miss an upload.
While you wait for the next upload, check out some of the playlists. If you'd like to see your fan artwork featured in the Subscribblers gallery, tag me in it,
As I love getting to see what you guys can create and sharing it to others on the channel.
My card link is below, and if you'd like to further support this channel with exclusive Patreon rewards, Fennec Foxes for £2 a month gets you access to all of my work-in-progress sketches. Arctic Foxes for £5 a month gets you access to exclusive Patreon-only content, art videos, and comic pages early. Red Foxes for £10 a month gets your name read out at the end of the videos, just like this. Special thank you to Frankie Jr. 13. Stay possum, subscribblers.